Welcome to Real World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you implement the autoimmune protocol. I am Stacey, Certified AIP Coach, and today I want to review Viome. I just want to say right up front that they do not have an affiliate program, so I can't make a dime on recommending them, and they do not sponsor me. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with them in any financial way or swayed by them or anything. So this is a completely unbiased review. I do have a review up on Viome. If you want to see that, that's here. That one I wasn't that impressed by. It just wasn't specific enough. It didn't impress me. I believe they've gone bankrupt, so that's irrelevant. But why did I do it again? Well, I've just suffered on and off throughout the years. Like, yes, AIP reversed all my symptoms of celiac and fatigue and all that. And I was feeling amazing. And then, I started the channel. But then I started experimenting a lot in the kitchen with like different flour, arrowroot flour, tapioca, starch, just things like that. And then, I caused a flare. And I guess I'm going to self-diagnose here because I've not done a lactulose breath test, but I was a walking like textbook example of SIBO-C. The bloating and the motility issues and just, like, I'm gonna put a picture here. Just don't that's how bad that bloating would get. And it would come and go depending on how I ate. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, why didn't you take this supplement and that supplement and this supplement and that supplement? Because I know from past experience that these things are going to just make things go wonky in my system, because I tried all the supplements in my 20s. Back then everything was candida, and I tried the strong garlic and oregano and all that stuff, trying to clear out something bad that was growing in there, because I always had the same symptoms. And see, I've learned a lot from doing genetic testing, which I need to do a video coming up on that. I have glitches that, how do I explain this? It's like a traffic system, and all the enzyme pathways work together interconnectedly. And so when you cause a traffic jam, like you have a SNP that creates slowing down of, like a methylation pathway or something, that's a traffic jam, which affects the whole thing. Now, also, when you take a supplement that speeds up or slow down one of those enzyme pathways, that's all interconnected. So even just taking something as simple as a methylated B12, it's not just going to fix your B12. No, that's going to affect all the pathways. And it's like, oh my goodness, but I made that mistake. I did that when I did the genetic testing. It was something with my B12. I didn't have like a really bad MTHFR. I had like one heterozygous variant. It wasn't a big deal. But something, I can't remember what it was, I was like, oh, I need more B12. And, Amy Yasko, who I think she pushes too many supplements. I'm not really a huge fan of hers. I think if you want to go dive into genetics, Ben Lynch is the guy. But anyway, I was on her site and she recommended some adenosine B12, whatever. I started taking it. I was an amped up, anxious, like I was a mess. Like I was so anxious and keyed up. It was just weird and terrible. And this is B12, such a harmless, innocent B12. I get my B12 from clams now. And liver. Not ever had a problem with food as a supplement, but just taking single supplements, no. So anyway, where was I going with all of that? Oh yeah, the SIBO. So I know from past experience, I know from research that the answer for me is not to put myself on a SIBO protocol and start taking strong, allicin, the active ingredient in garlic, can slow down your NAT2 enzyme pathways. Well, guess what? I'm already a slow acetylator, a slow metabolizer. So if I were to start taking strong garlic supplements to kill SIBO, I'm going to even further stop myself from detoxifying properly. It's just all interconnected. It's just not a good idea for me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not taking the oil of oregano and the berberine and all that, because they affect other things, and I know it'll screw me up. So yeah, they say, oh, you can't cure it through diet? Well, fine, I'll minimize my symptoms through diet then, because I'm not taking that stuff. So anyway, I attempted Low-FODMAP 2 times. The first time I did it, always within the AIP template, and that is discouraged. That can lead to orthorexia, but I like to experiment. I like to see if I can fix myself, and I'm good at following special diets. I just figure out, I make a template, I make a plan, I develop recipes with those ingredients, and I just eat it. And I don't feel frustrated or emotional about it at all. Anyway, I tried low FODMAP once alone while, also on AIP. And then I tried low FODMAP plus select carbohydrate diet on AIP. Why? Because they call that like a SIBO diet, and that's supposed to really rule out everything. But guess what? Neither one of those helped me. Neither one of those helped me at all. I was baffled, actually. Oh, so then I went to Texas, and Dr. Sarah Ballantyne gave that talk on the microbiome. I did a video on that. Can do that here. And I just started getting more into that, thinking that that's the missing piece of my puzzle. Is definitely something with my microbiome, dysbiosis situation. And I just wanted to get a little insight into it. And did I think that it would be like a game changer? No, I just wanted to get a little insight into it. I wanted to see if anything had changed from when I took the Viome. I was low on a couple things that would be helpful for reducing inflammation. And also I had other imbalances in my microbiome that would lead to like weight gain, and I had gained a few pounds. Anyway, I did Viome. I ordered it, they send you the package. It's like, it was $149. And if you buy a kit, they send you, like, you can refer 5 people. They can get 25% off. So like, say you and your husband both want to do it, don't order them together, order yours first, and then give him your friends and family discount, and he'll get his for like just over $100, which I feel like is a great deal. I actually used mine with my patrons. I put that on there, like, any of you guys want 25% off? So yeah, I sent it out, I waited. It took freaking forever to come back. I think it was like, they had a delay because they had just lowered their price and a ton of people were doing it. But eventually, I think it was like 6 to 8 weeks, I got my results back. And I was like, what? They told me not to eat cruciferous vegetables. Oh, I'm like, huh? What? I love that they tell you why too. Okay, because one of the other things, they told me to eat lots of carrots, and the reason why was that carrots are high in fiber. And I'm like, really? Well, that's dumb. What is that? Just a filler food like that you threw in there because you needed a list for me? Because everything has fiber. Whatever. I don't do that great with carrots. They're high in oxalates. And one of the things that was wrong on both Ubiome and Viome was, you do not have any oxalate breaking down bacteria. And I do notice that if I eat a ton of oxalates, I have symptoms. I don't like do a low oxalate diet. I'm like not trying to drive myself crazy, but I just have kind of a consciousness of, I'm not going to have a giant spinach salad and a kale smoothie that day and a bunch of whatever else that's high in oxalates. I just kind of I have awareness of it. And so they confirmed that, and so they took off a lot of the foods that have high oxalates, they took off on my list, yet they told me that carrots were a superfood for me, and carrots are high in oxalate. And then some other thing, like buckwheat, they said enjoy, but buckwheat is high in oxalate. Maybe, I think the benefits outweighed, the pros outweighed the cons, because buckwheat is also super high in like quercetin and fiber, anyway. Where am I going with that? Yeah, I didn't agree with the carrot. And the other thing I didn't agree with was, bone broth. Eat bone broth. Well, chicken bone broth. And I'm like, I told you guys I don't eat chicken. That's the one thing, though, that I loved about them is in the beginning, when you fill out your form, you can tell them what you don't eat. So you don't have to wade through lists of all the standard American diet things, wheat flour, rye flour, barley flour. Like, that's not relevant to you. And so it's not in your face cluttering up your lists. And I love that. So the list you get to minimize, enjoy, and superfood and avoid are only foods that you actually eat. So you can customize it to an AIP if that wouldn't push you into disordered eating. So that's what I did. And so besides the whole eat carrots for fiber, I'm like, okay, well, I'll eat other stuff for fiber. I just love how they tell you why you're eating it. So they were like, don't eat broccoli. And I'm like, I've never been able to eat broccoli. Broccoli gives me horrendous stomach aches. I'm with you there. But then they were like, don't eat Brussels sprouts and don't eat cabbage. And I'm like, what? I purposefully make sure to eat cruciferous vegetables every day, more than once a day, because they're cruciferous vegetables. And basically they were like, the glucosinolates are not, you don't have the right bacteria to break them down, and the metabolites of the glucosinolates. And I looked that up. What are they? And whoa. All I know is that I was purposefully eating cruciferous vegetables every day, as most people should, because they're so healthy. But I just gotta say, let me just backtrack I just have to say, okay, first of all, okay, I'm gonna go back to the list of foods to eat and to not eat. When I first got my results, I had a fridge full of food, a freezer full of batch cooked food, pantry full of food. And I said, well, I'll go on this Viome diet in a couple weeks. I'm going to use up what I have for now. So I had reintroduced lentils, and I had also started to reintroduce chickpeas based on my research of what foods are good for your microbiome. And so I had all kinds of lentils, all kinds of chickpeas, all kinds of cruciferous vegetables that were batched into like things like soups and stir fries. I'm like not going to throw away all this food. I'm not going to let it sit there and get freezer burnt, you know, while I experiment with this Viome thing. So I just started eating all that exclusively. All the things Viome told me don't eat is what I ate for like 2 weeks. And wow, I was so bloated. I was so screwed up digestion wise. I would eat like 50 grams of fiber in a day and not be able to, just motility problems, slow motility problems. And I was so bloated. My digestion was horrible. So that experiment showed me that, well, when you eat all the foods Viome tells you to stop eating, your digestion gets really bad. So that was great though. It kind of tested it out, and wow, they were right. I shouldn't be eating that stuff, especially not on purpose to get rid of it out of the kitchen all the time, every day. Whoa. So then I did the reverse, and I followed the recommendations that Viome gave me to the T. Like I made a list of the avoid and minimize. I actually stopped eating the minimized food because like they tell you can have like a serving a day, and a serving is like a tablespoon, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy 1 onion and eat 1 tablespoon of that onion each day. I mean, come on, whatever, I'll just not eat them. It's fine. There's still plenty of good foods I can have. I'm not deprived. So what I did was I took my list of enjoy and superfoods and I wrote them down, all the enjoy and superfood, and then I created recipes out of all of my enjoy and superfoods. Now all the proteins were green light, eat all the proteins. Like lamb was a superfood, fatty fish was a superfood, so that was easy. So I'm all set with all the proteins, as much protein as I want. I'm great with protein. So I made a list of all of the enjoy and superfood, and I created recipes with them. And the superfoods I had stars next to, and I made sure to include them every single day. So like cranberry and oregano, I made sure to include every day, like oregano and everything. Cranberries, I started incorporating cranberry into salad dressings. I started just keeping some. You can buy frozen cranberries at Whole Foods. I would just thaw some in a mason jar, just eat a few with a spoon. Yes, they're super tart, but I mean, I drink black coffee too, and I'll eat unsweetened chocolate, which are both reintros, but I don't mind like stuff like that. But you can sweeten them up, you know, you can puree them with strawberries and blueberries and just drizzle it on something. But yeah, I created a bunch of recipes. I created a Viome chopped salad that incorporated all kinds of roasted vegetables and raw vegetables and cooked vegetables, and just vat that and mixed it up, and it had loads of oregano in it, and that was one way to incorporate all those foods and to get my vegetables in without having to think about it every day and look at my lists. Oh, and carbs. I need carbs. I don't do well on low carb. I need like 100 to 150 grams a day. So I was thrilled to see that, okay, well, Viome was like, don't eat sweet potato. Don't eat, I already knew, cassava I already knew, but yeah, they told me to stop eating sweet potato, which I was like, okay, I always ate sweet potato, but I'll stop for you, sure. They said don't eat taro, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But they gave me the green light on breadfruit and plantain. Winning. I'm good. I'm good then. I love plantain and banana, green banana. So plantains and breadfruit, and that's fine as long as I can have carbs. And there was plenty of fruits that I was allowed to have as much of as I wanted, so I was like, great, I got my carbs in order, I'm good. You know what's annoying, and I did submit a request. Tiger nuts were not in their database, but I just know that I do well on tiger nuts. I just know, like, I could eat them all day. I feel fine. I feel great. It was like it was always one of the safe things that I turned to, tiger nuts and plantain. I just knew. I think I said that in a future form of video. So I've kept tiger nuts in the rotation until they actually get them in their database. The things they told me not to eat, they basically put me on a low FODMAP diet. I know that was part of their like algorithm. Oh, she's got signs of bloating, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know that I need a low FODMAP diet. I've never had a problem with onions, but whatever, I'm just blindly going by their recommendations to see the results. So I did it. I did whatever they said, even though I had done low FODMAP before. I was like, maybe because I'm doing it in combination with the soup foods they're telling me to eat more of. I don't know. They seem to be able to tell what's going on in my microbiome. This is what they're recommending. I'm going to give it my best shot. So I stopped eating garlic and onions again. And they said don't drink black tea, which I do hard. I hate tea, and I don't feel good when I drink a lot of tea. I break out. I just don't feel good. It's maybe the oxalate. I don't even know, but I don't like tea, and they said don't eat it. Mushrooms. Now, I don't know if that was a FODMAP thing or what, because if it was a FODMAP thing, I would still be able to eat oyster mushrooms, but I don't really know their reasoning behind that. Garlic, onions, jicama, peas, pumpkin, I'm not supposed to have. None of those. Beets, bok choy, kale, leeks. Yeah, leeks really bother my stomach. I figured that out. And then the foods to completely avoid that have like the red X, like do not eat. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, mustard greens, broccoli, all those. And then even the fruits, they were like, do not eat prunes. I tried prunes when I was on one of my experiments to fix my digestion. Whew. Like prunes are supposed to be a laxative, not when you have SIBO C or IBS-C or whatever the heck I have. They made everything worse, and they confirmed that. So my superfoods were cranberries, grapefruit, dandelion greens, radicchio, oregano, cilantro, dill, capers, lemon, ginger, and then fatty fish, cod, lamb. All right, so I did it. So I made recipes for myself, dressings and stop salads, and I incorporated all these things, and I followed it to a T. I have never had such freaking good digestion since I was 20. It's witchcraft. It is friggin' witchcraft. It's been over a month. I can't even believe it. Like, I have no bloating. I can wear any freaking dress I want. I eat big old chopped salads. If I'm hungry, I'll eat large quantities of food, and I just kind of eat when I get hungry, and like, I have normal digestion. I can't even freaking believe it. Like, I don't even understand, but it worked for me. Like, it freaking worked for me. And in the past, when I had gone back to basics after I had some bloating, and I would go back to my plantain tiger nut, and I would purposefully eat large amounts of oregano because of stuff I had read and research I had done on, you know, like SIBO and oregano, but I wouldn't take oil of oregano extract because I don't want to, you know, I'm afraid of supplements, concentrated supplements, but that always did seem to help. But just having that kind of confirmed and cutting out all of the cruciferous things that I was eating all the time, even though they're so healthy, but I just followed their advice and I stopped, and wow. Wow. Someone asked me to do a review on like hair analysis testing, and what else they were asking about: food allergy testing, RAS testing, skin prick testing, blood allergy testing. I've done all of it. I have done all of that. None of it made a huge difference for me, other than, yeah, I have an overactive, you know, I had something going on with my allergic response, because, you know, the RAS test, like 11 out of 15 were, or 13 out of 15 were like blown up. But and same thing with like the blood allergy testing, that showed that I had sky high IgE overall, just systemic. But none of it gave me any real insight that I could make actionable use out of and improve my health at all. And the hair analysis was totally wrong because I bleached my hair, so it was all wonky, and none of their recommendations helped me at all. This helped me tremendously. Like, if you're gonna get any testing done on your own, I mean, you should be working with a functional medicine physician. Viome is not gonna help you if you have a parasite or a virus or something else that needs to be uncovered. So it's really important to go to a functional medicine physician and get all that testing done, nutrient deficiencies, and just uncover anything else underlying that needs to be fixed before you're gonna correct the dysbiosis. But for me, like, I had already had all that stuff done, and I was just struggling with just that last little piece of the puzzle. Like, I felt great already. My energy was great. Everything was good. It was just that damn bloating and the motility issues. But they were cyclical. you know, it would be good for a while, it'll be fine, and then, you know, I would experiment with the channel, seriously, because like that's the only reason I'll stray from the way I eat that works. I will stay with that way of eating that works. I don't feel the need to really experiment. I do it because it's fun and I like to create new recipes, but I'm just gonna have to stick to the foods that I can eat and get creative within those foods and do more reviews, I guess, because I am not changing the way I'm eating. I love the way I feel, like my digestion is perfect. And the cool part is, so it's like a 45-day thing. They have you do all these restrictions, but then they're gonna have me add stuff back in. So maybe someday I can have Brussels sprouts, whatever, I don't even care. I love the way I feel, I'm happy, I like my food is good, everything is good. If I could just, I would try it, I would give it a shot. I don't know that it'll work for everybody like it worked for me. I don't have a link to give you because I have nothing, there's no affiliate. There's no freaking affiliate. So if you want to get Viome, go to Google and type in, or DuckDuckGo or your favorite search engine, and type in Viome, Viome. Yeah, it's the real deal. For me, it was a real freaking deal. But you gotta understand, like I actually was like very methodical about following to eat all of the superfoods every single day. And you know, like I feel like it would almost be like a service that should be provided, that, you know, if you want to go on the Viome diet, maybe you send in your results. Hey, I mean, I could probably do that. Send me your results of the foods to enjoy, and superfoods, and the no foods, right? And then create delicious recipes and meal ideas out of those yes foods. Ways to incorporate oregano and cranberry into everyday meals that taste good, or whatever your custom foods are. I feel like that's a service that, yeah, if you're interested in something like that, I mean, I am a certified health coach, so I could help you put together something like that. If you can figure that out on your own, then fine. I recommend you do the Viome, because if you have bloating and either diarrhea, constipation, whatever, just something like dysbiosis, and you're undiagnosed and you've gotten all those other tests, it really made a huge, 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 huge difference for me. It made all the world difference. I have no health puzzle pieces to try to fix. I'm trying to heal a broken heart right now. No, that's good too. But yeah, my health is, yeah, that's real deal stuff. So anyway, I would love to know if you do it and you follow through with it. I want to hear how you make out. And if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff, check me out on Patreon. I put out exclusive recipe tutorial and like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Lately I've been doing the recipes in print and just doing a video on like life updates and stuff like that. But either way, lots of behind the scenes and other recipes, things like that up on Patreon, so you can check that out. I hope to see you guys soon, and until then, be healthy.